Furthermore, we're not in the match. I don't know what next steps there are.
Well, there we go.
Operator bans are in Ying, Osa, Mute, Valkyrie. Now, for this particular cast, we're going to be doing a hybrid of play-by-play and color commentary. For you, I'm going to put you on the color spot right now. Why a mute ban?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think there certainly is stronger operators that you would have in the meta. You know, you think of Kaid for bank, for example, Azami as well as another one. But I would say Keystars is specifically target banning Mute. Mute as an operator is one that I feel that the great teams will play and really know how to use that operator well. Mute fills a lot of holes if you actually think about what his kit does. He brings a C4, he brings the shotgun, SMG to back it up, and the Mute jammers are so influential sometimes. It's good to block off a wall, but the drone work as well. Whenever you're dealing with a team like W7M, where they will go for the roam game, which is what we're already starting to see right off the rip, is the roam game, well, not really working out for them, Parker, but not having to worry about, oh, there's a mute jammer in this door. Oh, we have to shoot that before we can find out where these roamers are. It will just speed things up for Keystars, especially whenever they know they start in the attack first, which I would say is more difficult in bank than defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with you. Given that this map does, or should rather, favor Vivo Keystars as they picked it, they'll have a jump on attack in some way, shape, or form. They haven't lost anything yet other than a bit of HP for both Daffodil and Hornetow. Not the same to be said for W7M, who are without Herds and Nade. As Hornetow's entrance towards the bomb site will come through Garage. There's only 3 players for W7M as they look to hang on. They've not fully coalesced around the bomb site at this point. Philippox is still roaming above, and Gomez dies, meaning that W7M get on the board.
Yeah, Philippox is the danger man. He's the one who's accounted for. A double push from Garage isn't working out too well for Keystars, because that goal is maybe pushed in a little bit too quickly. They should have waited for Landa coming down the stairs, and finally we will start to see Landa push his way through. 3 kills already. He's killing everyone inside of this round. JV have to hold on. The Vault has to wait for Philippox to come in. He's the only one left, and they know exactly where he is. There must be an account on him, and gets cleaned up. Oh, that's a good round to get things going for Keystars. They take their first attack.
Yeah, job well done. All they needed was that early presence upstairs. Vivo Keed coming in, rolling through the top floor. W7M trying to gain that back in the later portion of that round, but ultimately falling short. And then we've seen teams be able to pull off a 2vx on the bottom floor bomb site, but there's usually a couple things going in their favor. Number one, you usually got Goyo canisters or smoke or something to delay the push. That is typically a linear push from the attackers. Vivo Keystars did not all push from one direction. Obviously, that's going to benefit them. If the team has the wherewithal to spread out and use the advantage that they have in terms of numbers, then things are going to typically go well. Additionally, the time usually benefits the defenders. W7M, because they lost players early on, were fighting the clock just as much as they were fighting Vivo Keystars. When you're on attack and you got 10 seconds left, the attackers are fighting the clock. When you're on defense and there's only 2 defenders left and you've got a bunch of opponents still to come and there's a minute and 20 seconds left, it's the defenders who are going to be fighting that clock because you do not have your greatest asset, which is the timer hitting 0, working for you. So ultimately, W7M faced a lot of problems. They couldn't get themselves out of it. As good of a team as they are, they're going to lose rounds. And ultimately, they're going to make mistakes. There were a couple of mistakes committed on that particular round, and Vivo Keed capitalized.
Just touching on the map bans again, I would say that W7M, they've played it pretty safe, probably expecting themselves to be at the major. I think, you know, a team of that standard, they'll expect to be heading to Atlanta. So you see kind of from their bans, I think they've played it pretty safe with the maps that they're playing. These are maps that they've already shown this stage. They've still managed to hide away Nighthaven and Consulate as well. Those were the first 2 bans they had. Oh, look at this. This is straight out of the playbook. A Glaz solo jumping in through copy window, eliminates Nade, and jumps straight back out. A smash and grab, Parker.
I love that reference. Smash and grab it is. Man, Vivo Keed are making this one their own. W7M slaughtered every step of the way. Philippox, not in the position that I think he wanted to be in, and now Glaz will seal the deal. We might have been in a tech pause for about 40 minutes, give or take, but Vivo Keystars have just burned the clock through these 2 rounds.
That round ended at 2 minutes 10. That kind of sums it up. I mean, first of all, what the region is, which is just, it's chaos. It's been a long time since I've had the luxury of commentating Brazil. And boy, it's like you've never left. You know, it's just the same. They see an opening, they see a weakness, and they just go for it. And that's exactly what Keepstar's done. They see it, hey, there's really nothing stopping a Glass jumping in copy window. Ideally, there should be. In what world he does that and gets away with it is beyond me. Sure, he jumps in, he gets the kill, but the fact that he was able to jump out, that is where the salt in the wounds get rubbed in. Because he should be dead immediately as soon as that happens. But maybe W7M, starting off slow, a little bit sluggish. They need to wake up, because momentum, especially in Brazil, is something that is very difficult to come back from. We know the energy of this region, the passion that they have. Whenever a team is leading and they're in that element, how do you stop that?
Entirely sure. I mean, not to lead into this too much, as there's, you know, Fellapox has been the garbage man for W7M, kind of cleaning up those trash kills towards the tail end of the rounds, ultimately having no real effect beyond that. But is there frustration for W7M here? That's a question that I need to ask, because the player that was having the tech issues, as far as I heard, was KZ. So if KZ is struggling with this, is there some frustration? Are there some issues with him as a player? I'm not sure, because it's very easy to get tilted.
Yeah, I think mental fortitude needs to come in then from the coaching staff. I've always said that I think to be a professional player, 40% is how good you play the game, 60% is how well you keep your mental in check. And we've seen some great players who struggle on the mental side of the games, maybe getting demotivated after a loss, maybe toxicity issues. You know, they happen. You know, people sometimes lose their cool. We're human at the end of the day. So yeah, you kind of have to look at the coaching staff just to make sure that those players are in check. And most of the great sides we know have great coaches that go alongside them. As we stand on round number 3, we do have a little bit of a different setup coming in from W7M. They're not going to go for a roam game. They're going to look for a bit more of an anchor in the bomb site, utilizing Goyo canisters and smoke grenades to the best of their ability. We know that's going to burn a lot of the time, Parker. But it does give Keepstars then just to go ahead to start opening up the hatches, start preparing for these executes. A good side will be, you know, well drilled with their time management. They'll know what stage they need to get to. You know, burn through those smokes, burn through those Goyo canisters, and yeah, as long as they're doing it, I think they execute around 40 seconds, they should be in good standard.
That's the hope. Fire rages on blue stairs. KZ will take up that same space. Still toying with who might be up there, as that's some of Fellapox's gadgetry. There goes the Yana clone as well. Fire stopped lingering. KZ can reascend top of blue if required. 1 minute left to go, and first smoke could rain down into the red column, the red hallway, if you call it that.
That's correct.
Once again, there is a glitch in the game right now involving the utility of Capitao, so don't take it too seriously. What is Hates putting on at the moment? 6-0. Marching and asserting himself. Lenda, the only player of Vivo Keydstars who's punished up to this point. Herds will get flashed out. Hates is not too far removed from this engagement. Oh, it's down. Hornetow down. W7M are always a threat, and when they're swinging like that, they're a tough team to beat. They get on the board finally with their second attempt of Locker. CCTV breaking in their favor.
Oh, that was very fortunate for Herds. The enemy has opened up a kill hole for him to use to find a player. Sometimes you can't make it up, just some of the things that happen in games. But yeah, that's really helped out W7M. It's gotten them in there and got their first round on the board. I think the actual execute from Keystar was quite good. I like the fact that they're attacking split. You know, having one team push in towards blue, one team push the back. It's just whenever you lose one side, then it all kind of falls flat in its face. For those kind of like pinch pushes, everyone needs to do their job. You know, it should just be, you get every kill, just bang, bang, bang in the space of 5 seconds. If you cannot do that consistently, you should just go for just a plain old simple grind out the utility, look for the defuse, play around that. Because if you are dropping those back hatches, it's very unlikely you'll start to see diffusers go down. Just because the time limit, the time you fight through those defenders, you're never really going to get a sniff into getting that plant down safely.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see the setup occurring. I think this is the most free cam that we have actually seen from Brazil, possibly in any region.
Is that a shot fired?
No, they use it quite extensively. It's very cinematic. I like it. And honestly, it gives us a very good view of what these setups are like, which is, frankly, is a big stumbling block a lot of the time. No way. Uh-oh. JV92 with the castle barricade, so he wasn't going to get shot through that. The soft wall could have been pressured by Hates. JV92 deciding, why not re-engage?
Another roam game from W7M. So they will extend out in towards open area. I think the castle helps with that, just gives them that extra shell almost. If they want to crack into that, they still can fall back to the inner shell. But it looks at the moment just a bit of probing going on for Keystars, trying to figure out where they want to enter in from. You can see the Brava drone was doing some good work getting rid of utility. Pretty sure Hates is probably going to look for another jump in. You know, you don't spend so long outside copy window clearing away utility, opening up angles if you're not going to push that. Daffodil might be fucking open the wall and sprinting straight into kitchen, but that's a risky play, Parker, if you haven't droned out well. Ronatal eliminates Philippe Pox, and Daffodil does exactly that. Walks in, flies JV92. Herds is there with a kill back in favor of W7M, but Landa makes sure that man advantage is firmly in Keystar's hands. A good collapse, and it clears away the roamers.
My. Evo Keed looking so formidable. Now it's Nade. No kills to his name. Walking down those red stairs inside a lobby. Finds Hornetau, but over by ATMs. It's Lenda to send this round into the history books. Vivo Keystars up 3-1. Not necessarily the result that we expected so early.
It's not, but I think that was a much better played round. What they've done was the idea of their last attack on the basement, where they have a couple of people just pushing all different points. That pinch comes in, and we've seen them on the feed this time, kill, kill, kill. That is what they needed to do whenever they were attacking the basement, but it never came from them. It went the other way. W7 just went kill, kill, kill. So that's just minor things. They've improved clearly on their communication. Whenever you see a team just clear the rounds so quickly like that, it proves that the communication is on point, because everyone's doing their job, everyone's doing what is needed to be done. So yeah, very impressed with Keystars at the moment. W7M, we need a little bit more from them. We're actually going to go to the top floor, Parker, which I think without the lack of Ossa on the board and Ying, it's a tough nut to crack. Because really, what is your pushing power? How do you break down this top floor effectively? I know that Monty has been a big operator that especially NA teams and European sides that have taken to help them with top floor. Brazil, not so much, unless you're dealing with certified Monty mains, which really you're looking at NIP for that. They're a team who like the shields. I wouldn't be expecting really any Monty play from these two teams at the moment, so I think top floor might be tricky for the attacks. And also, Azami up, Parker, this is something we don't say every day. That makes the top floor even more so difficult to attack, because you just have so much portable cover, you have to burn free, and there's only so much burn you can bring from the attacking force.
Well, I mean, I like the tools from Vivo Keystars. I like the Nook pick from Hates in particular. As long as you can get close to the bomb site quickly on, then... I mean, Nook is not necessarily wasted even if you wait until the tail end of the round, because you can strike when people are least expecting it. You're a versatile operator, and even though Nook has seen some nerfs, she still has a niche role.
Yeah.
And a good gun. That's the other thing. So...
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Up the stairs she goes. They're ready for it, though.
Very close. Just that's the worst thing. You know, if you're a Nook crouch walker backstabbing the opponents, if you see a goo mine, Fenrir, just a piece of barbed wire, you can't go there. They're going to know what's up, and yeah, it scares them away. So just that bit of barbed wire really helps out the side of the defense. And, you know, I think, again, that's another improvement for W7M. Whenever they were trying to actively hold the top floor, whenever they had that basement round, I think round number 1, just seeing anybody just walking up staircases, there was nothing to stop the attackers. So just that little minor change helps out W7M. A shed load They need to find kills here for Keydstars. Half the round gone. You've got no map control. You haven't even really attempted to take in towards the stock office as of yet. You really relied on Nuke. I think, again, that smash and grab kill we've seen earlier from the Glaz. Get that one kill and open up the map for yourself. But if that doesn't come, I'm really interested to see what the plan B option is now for Keydstars.
Yeah, well, this is the slowest round, inarguably, so far between these teams. Lenda 6-1, Hates 6-1. These two shouldering most of the load. You've still got an offensive threat who lingers as Hornetow can come alive at any moment. Lenda by square stairs. You saw Hornetow was on upside down rappel. There's KZ activating the glasses. A kill onto the Nook just outside of his fingertips. First two picks go to W7M. KZ does get on the board for that Nook pick. Evo Keydstars not just sacrificing the first pick, but the first two. They're down to just Lenda. Picks up a kill. 2 kills over by square stairs.
Uh-oh.
Sheath the nade. No way! Pulls this off! Oh my! Velopox ensuring it does not go in the favor of the Keydstars. That's 2 rounds now on defense for W7M. Their best hope is a victory here to tie up the first half.
Oh, they're lucky he got that kill, because if they didn't, that is Tilt City. That's where we'd be headed to in W7M. Question marks would be flying. Discipline is one thing that we sometimes critique, younger sides, newer sides, Parker, who are just kind of getting their teeth into competitive Siege. It's a team that's won a major, and that's happened. Just little things that shouldn't be happening for the caliber of this team. Is it overconfidence? Disrespect? You could throw them words out, I suppose, as well for W7M, but yeah, need to be doing better than that. Sure, they won the round. It was good that follow-up until they just started tossing bodies in front of Iana. You see the struggles. That's for Keydstars. If you don't have the right operators, if you don't have that big pushing power from the Osa, from the Ying, how do you really get into that top floor? How do you abuse the windows?
Well, you don't abuse the windows. The windows haven't done anything to you, Harry. You control the... Maybe you can control is bad. I don't know.
Control? You think controlling's better than abusing?
That's a weird way to ask that question. An uncomfortable way to ask that question. But also, yes. Now, all jokes aside.
Yep.
No, I mean... Oh. Building is gone again.
It's happened the other day. Don't know what it is. They've heisted half the building.
And it's the same map, too, that you and I were casting when it happened the first time.
Yeah. Bank again.
Yeah.
What it is about this?
No, I know what you mean when you say abusing the windows. You mean like using the power that comes from it to your advantage. I know it was just a joke.
You're a jokester.
I am. What can I say? That's an old skin being ran by Gomez, by the way. I think it came out during Velvet Shell. Called like the Fader or Crossfade or something like that. One of the seasonal skins.
Yep.
Blue control right now being held by KZ. He's lost half of his HP. Got every single gas canister in play. I don't know what tools are around him to keep him safe. There's a Goyo canister there last time. That was really beneficial. You can hit it, prevent any push from coming in on blue side. Open area hold on this basement bomb site. And Herds has not been shaken off this position. Oh, is he about to lose it? Oh, he saves the mirror window.
That was lucky. Just about got to it. I like this hold from W7M. You are putting a lot of utility, as we know. You look at the lineup that they have. Castle mirror combinations are always fun to deal with from an attacking standpoint. But it's just trying to control a lot more of the map in a condensed space. You have reinforced with double walls on the main stairs, which is really crucial for a player like JV. You always have an attacker move in towards tellers, open up that wall, and then you have that long angle down onto main stairs. Removing that option, it just makes that gunfight even more difficult for the player pushing in towards elevators. It will be W7M coming out on top as the trades flew in, and they still don't have that open area control. They have not taken it. As we can see, W7M, they've fled the hook. They're gone. They are back on site. They can now fall back into stage 2, which is use the smokes and use the Goyos. I think Keystars, they're going to really struggle, and they're going to have to hit some really good shots into the players playing in towards red.
Maybe it just took a while for W7M to get their heads in this game, because through this back half of the first part... Oh, no, Daffodil, you don't want to get too close to that. Taking a little bit of damage from the Goyo canister, and now maybe an opportunity to get in. Gomez only a single kill. Will now smoke off the drop. Daffodil charging through the fire, taking a lot of damage.
Oh my.
Bit of an unconventional plant spot. Down he goes to the gas thrown out by KZ, who has been fantastic over the last 2 rounds. Now Gomez in an hopeless situation, an unrealistic win for him. Find 4 kills with just 10 seconds left. Won't even get one. JV92 guarantees W7M their 3rd round. All tied up as we go to the second half.
I love that castle barricade placed in red corridor. I think that was a really smart idea from W7M. Whenever you know you're going to be holding heavily into open area, eventually you will have to drop off. They will break through that at some point. So whenever you do drop back off the site, hopefully you're burning a good chunk of time. Whenever teams know that, okay, we've took open area, they have a Goya on a smoke. There's no way we can burn through everything and take blue within inside a minute. We've just fought through open area with no utility left. A lot of the time, teams will then just drop hatches. That is always a big hatch that teams drop. Castling that off, it makes it so the players inside of red corridor will not be touched. And it creates more of a funnel for the attackers to drop into, and there's so many different crossfires being established, and also protects the important players with the utility, like the smoke, like the Goyo. Just a minor little thing, but I think it makes all the difference. I love the creativity from W7M.
Well, it shouldn't really surprise anybody that W7M is a creative team, and I like it as well. It certainly makes for entertaining matchups. What did you say, Harry?
Triple frost mat on the vault hatch drop. Triple frost mat.
I mean, we've seen it work before, so why not bring it back out, right?
Oh, I love Brazil for little things like that. It's just, you know, if I did that in my stacks, I'd be blacklisted.
We wouldn't want you to get blacklisted, Harry.
You know, everyone would be like, oh, come look what Demos did, and then they'd laugh at me.
He sat in his room and played Yu-Gi-Oh! For 7 hours.
No. Nope, didn't do that.
6 hours.
Used to do that. Didn't do that.
Oh. Did you end up capturing, I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. Did you capture the Blue Eyes White Dragon? I don't know, man. I don't play that game. How am I supposed to know?
It's actually evolved quite a lot. There's no more. It's Blue Eyes White Dragon ain't that good. Actually not. Ain't that good.
I'm old enough to remember when that first Yu-Gi-Oh! Set came out, and Blue Eyes White Dragon was in the starter set. Mm-hmm. I actually have somewhere a copy of that starter set because I bought it when a bunch of my friends played Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was like, I don't know, I was like 10 or 11 years old. Is that card worth any money?
I don't know, but you just sound like a massive nerd right now.
Well, I don't play card games anymore. I did play Magic the Gathering growing up, but haven't touched any kind of card game in a long time. First pick, by the way, goes to KZ. All of the benefit that he provided to his team, all the advantages that he provided to his team on defense, now gone. Those are the Selmas removed as well, but a backup hard breach in the hands of Herds. Not all hope is lost. He's going to go for just a straight drop into open area.
Nobody's home. They've left. That's what you'll find a lot of the time with the roamers. They'll either go for just a die-hard hold where they will die there, or it's just almost like a bait where, you know, you think the attackers are going to clear you, but you just drop off early, let them waste their time, you know, hunting something that's not there. Look at this from JV. In garage, trying to creep his way in, but backs away now. Ideally, the standpoint for Keystars, just keep running down the time. I like this from Daffodil, attempting to try and get a little bit aggro, maybe find somebody lurking by themselves, win that 1v1 engagement. Doesn't work out for him. Was not aware that there was already a player inside the hatch room, inside admin. And now it's just W7M opening up utility, doing all the generic work you would find. The positive going forward for W7M is there's no smokes, there's no Goyos. They don't have to worry about time management now. 40 seconds for a team that is very hot and heavy, Parker. Whenever it comes to executes, this does give them plenty of time to work with still.
Uh-oh. Have all the frost mats been taken care of?
Mm-hmm. They have been.
So you can drop?
That's it. Oh, the shield.
Oh, Hates is prepared for this. What an impressive series so far. There goes Gomez. Hates lined up for the next one, but he loses it to JV, who now picks up his second and continues rolling forwards. Lenda and Hornetown need to get back to the bomb site. There's Nade with diffuser in hand. A scramble from the remaining W7M players looking for their first lead. They haven't done so yet. What a monstrous round from JV92. And W7M grab the lead on Bank.
That's all JV92. They obviously were looking to get a player into Vault who just died immediately. Losing that Vault player means for the defenders, they just have to look to one direction, towards main stairs. If you hold main stairs down, no problem. Nobody's getting in. I'm really surprised that Keystars let that slip after eliminating the Vault player, but it's individuals who make the moments like that for W7M. You know, they'll find a way to win off the back of somebody having a great round. And that's the thing with this W7M team. All of them will have rounds like that where they single-handedly win it. That's how good this side is that they all have players who will step up whenever they need to. And JV, it was his turn to take the mantle and stepped up extremely well, just killed one after another. Once that diffuser goes down, especially if you know there's one roaming, you're going to lock the side out. You know he's going to come main stairs. It's very easy then for the attackers to hold on to that and win the round successfully. So yeah, great attack. JV92, all the accommodations goes to you, my friend.
Lots of individual performances where you can give commendations to W7M players. I don't know if you saw, there was a thread on the subreddit a couple days ago basically saying, how come Herds is never in conversation for one of the best players in the world? And honestly, I think it's a part of the fact that W7M just are so good. There are games where KZ looks like indisputably the best person on the team. There are times where KV looks like the best.
That's it. They don't have a star boy, which a lot of other teams, if you think of a team, you'll think of a player immediately associated with that. That's just how it works. And for W7M, they're all on that same level. It's difficult to separate them. They are just that team. They're a team. They're not individuals. They're a team.
Yeah.
Well, let's test it out. Whenever you think of Dark Zero, who do you think of first?
Oh, Pambazoo. Or NJR. But I mean, so the same could be said. The same could be said.
Not the two-time?
What?
Not the two-timer? No?
No, not Canadian. He's certainly not. I mean, the things that he brings to the table are huge, but I mean, NJR and Pambazoo are, to me, those are two incredible members on the team. Nice first pick, by the way, by Vivo Keystars, but it's not long. It's very short-lived. W7M strike back. Now it's Herds to take up more space. Oh my, and a relatively easy kill to keep a barrier from Hates thrown out. W7M are just a killing machine. Gomez 1 and 7. Only sounds he hears, pings of the bombs going away. Herds falls to the TCSG, a second kill for Gomez, but it's a fight for his life. Got the sidearm out, he's winning the duels, but in lockstep, W7R, they've won 4 in a row, 5 rounds in total. Yeah, I mean, the beginning of this was Vivo Keystars doing well. I wouldn't be surprised. There it is, the timeout from Vivo Keystars. Just things not going in their favor.
No, it's not, but this is where the momentum starts to get away from you. Like you said, 4 rounds in a row. Very impressive from W7M. They just tore through that last round. They didn't really put up a fight. If you're looking at Keystars, just everyone moved in as that one unit, that one wave. Clears the entire site out. These rounds have been extremely fast as well, Park. Have you noticed that? Like, that's, again, another round that has been over, after only half of it being played. Both these teams are just lightning quick on the attack. But that's just Brazil as the region. If they see an opportunity, if they see a chance that they could maybe just push in and clear everything, they'll do that. And every single one of them will commit. It's just a go big or go home mentality from these sides. And of course, the level of this match and what is up for grabs, it's a major spot. That's massive. This is where you shouldn't be shying away. You need to throw everything you can at this and get the win.
Almost seems like in a lot of ways, like a formality that W7M will win this match and go to the major based on, based on past precedent and more importantly, based on the prestige. Do you have to make those noises? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Ollie doesn't seem to mind.
That's because
Neither
Ollie
did
has
Rob.
tact and isn't going
Neither
to
did
call
Rob.
you out on it.
Rob didn't mind.
Is Rob Flynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to say anything bad. He's just happy to be back.
Oh, Rob's a nice
You
guy.
could make audible farting noises the entire time he talks, and he would never say anything badly about you.
That's not true. I'm sure if he was casting with you, he'd say a lot of mean stuff.
In jest.
You think?
I was mean-spirited with the thing I just said to you, and I'd like the record to show that. So, Vivo Keydstars on their map. We talked about this during the lengthy tech pause that we were in. Of course, it wasn't broadcasted to the average viewer, but it was something that we discussed behind the scenes when we were relaxing and talking to CDAPs. Oh my.
Here.
Eights,
What's he going for?
What are you doing? Like, what was the goal there?
Kill them? I'm guessing it's kill them.
I mean, I think that's everybody's goal. I mean, the greater goal.
Yep, that is correct. The goal is kill everything and you win the round. So I understand his commitment. But another way you can win is by running down the clock, which I feel for Keydstars is something they should be looking to abuse. The last time they defended down here, they didn't really do that. They didn't bring a lineup which I would say is correct for that mentality. So I think they need to really start to think about, okay, let's bring the smoke, let's bring the Goy, let's bring the C4s and go from there.
You got a dog, Harry?
Yep, they are going... Can you cover for me, Parker?
You know what? Go tend to your dogs. I got the next 1 minute and 40 seconds, my friend. As nothing will happen. Hello, viewers. It's just you and I. How are you today? I have freed you from demo. No more Northern Irish boy. Now, just us. Just us to watch the unparalleled skill of W7M, the best team in the world. At the moment, Vivo Keydstars slowed them down. Stage was set when the maps were picked. Vivo Keyd started this round off with Hates getting a little bit aggressive, maybe a bit too aggressive, as he died basically for nothing. Hornetow suffered some damage on this blue spot. He's held it. There's a nade that's going to go in. No, Hornetow can win, though. Yes, he's a swing and take down KZ. Herds dies as well, suddenly. Vivo Keydstars winning these two duels. Favor of this round swinging back towards them.
Shotgun, ready in hand. Again, player in blue, so difficult to deal with if you don't have the correct utility. There's flashbangs nades, why are you not using them? Oh, it's a ward, never mind. Of course you wouldn't use the flashbangs. Nade, bearing in hand, just waiting for Hornetow to almost step out of place. Philippox eliminates Hornetow, so that's the blue player cleared. C4s though, primed and ready in the hand of Gomez, and also 2 smoke canisters ready to be deployed by Daffodil, though. It may be a hatch drop here. I think that may be what they have to go for. There's a lot of utility they need to burn through. Wall isn't even opened up for them. Nade goes for the hatch drop, tries to get in. Landa eliminates JV92. Diffuser cold on the ground. The utility is working really well for Keydstars, and finally, they'll break that defense. They get their first round on it. Good way to kick things off in a bit of a comeback now, Parker.
Yeah, I mean, well, every comeback has to start with a single round, just as every avalanche starts with a single snowflake. And in this instance, that first round of the comeback might have just began on their second attempt at that Locker's bomb site down below. Now, where do you go next? We're going to go to a bomb site that really hasn't seen much play, and in fact, is starting in some regions to see less play than that Teller's Archives bomb site, which we've already seen today. That main floor bomb site, the 2 main floor bomb sites, have gone through an odd iterations rather, over the years. Teller's Archives was very firmly in the do not play camp for much of the last couple, I would say, stages, seasons, however you'd like to quantify it. Now it's come back. CEO is the one site upstairs that was largely kicked out in favor of Teller's Archives because open area is a relatively good site for the defenders. Vivo Keyd will go up top. Will they prove to be successful? They've got the tools to do that. The Azami being unbanned means that her prevalence is going to be through the roof. She's going to be in almost every single round. even if Gomez himself has not been the best player, the operator is going to pay off huge for Vivo Keydstars. Now, it didn't necessarily the last time, but that was such a dominant round from W7M back in round number 7, or round number 8 rather, that it's hard to gain a lot of information. The one thing that W7M is bringing to change it up there this time is the Monty of Felipox. He's been a good player so far. You're on an operator where you don't necessarily need to be a good fragger, you just need to be a good player overall. Felipox through the main lobby. Will he have an escort? And furthermore, will the escort be able to get a pick if Vivo Keydstars decides to challenge it?
As long as he has good communication, that's you qualified to be the multiplayer for Bank. Getting up that spiral stair should be no problem for him. There's nothing on the lineup that you should be really worried for. Sure, there's a smoke and a couple of impacts, but if a smoke's wasting canisters on you instead of, you know, maybe into the later stages trying to deny a doorway for a plant, then you have to question smoke players at that stage. So I think assisting that Monty as best as they can with having somebody on the lobby repel is going to be key, which they have done so. JV92 is there. So Felipox is in a position where he can call out, hey, there's one behind this desk, there's one guy in an elevator. All those little bits of information is so crucial. Herds knows exactly where to look for Hornetau as he's been able to swing in, but he loses it. Hornetau prone. Oh, Herds, you need to win those smoke canisters to push back the Monty, knowing that the X2 came in really early from W7M. That's a good time to use the smoke canisters. I don't know how Hornetau's got away with this. They know exactly where he is, but they still could not kill him.
I mean, I don't hate losing Herds here, to be completely honest. Like, Hates died early in the previous round, didn't really have much of an effect on the outcome. That's fine. Still got the other threat of Lenda on the board. Hornetau can always come out of his own shadow. Nice pick on repel, but Hornetau finished off by Nade, whose own patience is rewarded. Monty will soon see Gomez playing upstairs in the elevator. There's no real way for W7M to capitalize on this until somebody moves into position, and that's exactly what Nade is doing. Will he get the call? There's a flash to go up. Look at this coordination, by the way.
They know he's there.
They absolutely know he's there. And now the scramble as Nade takes some damage. Daffodil emerges from the position inside a conference room. Could have another found. Instead, we'll cycle on over. The Monty of Felipox is still up, menacing, as he now looks to block Daffodil out through that conference door. Shield goes down. Now Daffodil playing Ring Around the Rosie. This is a must-win for Vivo Keyed, and they will do just that. Rare sloppiness from W7M, and we've got ourselves a tie game.
Incredible footwork from Daffodil, just moving back and forth, always keeping W7M guessing where he is. Yeah, it was the mid-round for me, not being able to clear Hornetau in front desk. You had one player swing in through the windows. Should have been a dead certain kill. It wasn't. Then another player goes in repel. He then dies, and finally you get the trade-off. But by that stage, you've lost two players where you really shouldn't. And especially for that top floor, you need to have a lot of different angles converging to put pressure onto the defense. If you are just attacking up spiral staircase, it's so easy for the defenders to hold because they're always looking one direction. They don't have to worry about being flanked because they know there just isn't enough manpower to worry about. So they needed to clear up those kills a lot better. I'm just surprised they didn't get them. They just don't win their engagements.
I mean, you get the first pick. Usually, that means good things for what comes next. Especially if you're W7M. 2 rounds in a row, it has not transpired the way that you wanted. Lockers going in favor of Vivo Keydstars on their second attempt. CEO going in favor most recently. Now to open area, these two teams will duel. How will the offsite play for Vivo Keydstars work? Because W7M struggles have been site players. Their struggle hasn't come from the early rounds. It's come from the mid to late rounds. And I mean, I don't really see a lot of innovation from Vivo Keydstars when it comes to what operators they're bringing, the lineups they're bringing, etc. This is pretty standard stuff, round through round through round. So I will say, small changes, just little changes, can make all the difference when it comes to teams of this skill level.
obviously there's teams in the scene who will be the inventors, and then there are teams who will be the copycats. And it really depends on where you put yourself in the spectrum. I think for a team like Keedstars, probably better being copycats at this time. You know, they're still a fairly new team that have been compiled together. So whenever you start getting up there and you start having good synergy with your team, and you start, you know, getting to that level of teamwork, then you can start trying out new things. I think W7M, they've shown what a creative side can really do. So I'm not really surprised to see Keedstars not take the more aggressive stance with these, you know, crazy setups that we're sitting there thinking, oh wow, I've never seen this before. What is this? What is that going to achieve? They just want to get this win. They just want to grind it out. They want to play messy. They don't mind if W7M know what they're doing. They're going to rely on their gun skill. And I think with gun skill at this game, Parker, it's been, I think, evenly matched. You know, both sides have had good shots on either end of the spectrum.
No, I completely agree here. I mean, not that Vivo Keedstars have any slouches when it comes to killing potential, but certainly you don't think of them as equals with W7M. Hates is dying way too early for comfort, though.
Agreed.
W7M keep getting this first pick of Hates, but they don't really do much next. It, in a way, is kind of nice that Vivo Keedstars can perpetually win a 4v5. A 5v5, obviously, because the gadgetry is still down, but it's just ultimately not as effective as it could be. And he is a player also not that effective. W7M now over towards Square. Not sure what the goal is for the Capital Felipox, but good control upstairs as W7M, oh no, approaches and execute.
Miss flash. Just barely misses the beams. Those bounce off, but Gomez, look at the ability of using the Azami, blocking up the holes. The Capcan trap went off on the kitchen doorway. Felipox jumped into copy, eliminated Gomez, and now he's in the heart of the bomb site. Upstairs, Case has been eliminated, but look at that peek from Hornatau. Catches him by surprise. Felipox didn't have a Scooby-Doo. He was there. Herds has to try and hold on and defend JV92. There is a flank coming in from top square. I like that from Daffodil. Have the added pressure of worrying about your back now, Herds. Will move in more aggressively, maybe trying to retake open area away from the defense and then play more of a post-plant orientated success story for them. Herds holding on to the rotate, but nobody's moving from Keedstars. What are they waiting for? In comes Hornatau. Looks the wrong way. Herds eliminates him. A 1v1 essentially, because there has been a down onto Daffodil. JV92 in a prime position to hold on to that diffuser as best he can. Landon needs to make the move, and he will! 10 seconds! Will he get the diffuse? Yes, yeah. He will! A great retake, but Parker, there was moments where I was worried.
I mean, does that happen if he's not Oryx? I don't know if he gets there in time. He had to use the Ramada dash to break through the wall. Yeah. Get there. I'm incredible clutch from Vivo Keedstars to move them to match point on their own map. Might this be the time that W7M slowly works on these? Back we are as W7M's timeout comes to an end. I have to imagine that this was probably where the snafu over the timeout first came from. There's no way for W7M to win this match in regulation, which means that we've got, if you are a fan of W7M, more to play. If we don't have more to play, Vivo Keedstars goes out victorious on their own map, which guarantees us Cafe, as we always knew, but makes Chalet a much greater possibility. We'll follow along. What are your expectations, Harry?
Thank you for asking, Parker.
Doesn't sound as good when you try to overemphasize it, hey?
No, it didn't work as well. Mostly because, I mean, you emphasize because nobody calls me by my first name. It's true. Nobody, I mean, whenever people say my name, it's like Harry Demo Dempster. I don't know why people think Demo's like my legal name. I don't know where this has came from, but that happens quite a lot. My expectations are Keedstar need to win this map because W7 on Cafe is a hard battle. It really is. So I think they need Bank if they want to win the series. If they don't, it's difficult not seeing W7M take their map, Cafe. So it's a big one for them. So we really need to see them win it out here or on overtime. Just as long as they get the win, that's all that matters for Keedstars.
I think it's expectation setting, right? I mean, Vivo Keyed taking one off the defending major champions in and of itself is quite impressive, even if it is their map choice. I mean, Liquid had a couple map choices back in Copenhagen, and how did that work out for them? Oh, wait. They only got to go to one of their maps because W7M 3-0'd them in what was a very dominated matchup. What were you saying?
Oh dear.
What?
Oh, I missed Ram. He missed his Ram. Look, there's one going off onto the road. Quick, Parker, stop the traffic. There's a Ram going onto the main road. You kill someone.
I don't think it makes it. No, that's...
No. I love Ram. Just the fact that you don't have to enter the building to open up flooring is just, from a soft breach's perspective, it is the dream to not have to worry about C4s. Like, she is really good. I really like the addition of Ram.
I'm glad. I'm very glad you like it.
I do.
That's all you want to say.
I
You're just going to say, oh, it's very good. I like the
yeah.
addition. That's it.
I really like
What am I supposed to do with that?
Just
Why
talk
do you
about
like
how
Ram?
her. I said because you don't get C4 anymore whenever you do vertical action. You can just throw it. Don't worry about it. It does its own thing. You know, it's like one of those lawnmowers that you put in like the garden and it'll just cut the grass for you. You have to worry about it. It just works away. Same thing. Just works away for you, and then you go and reap the rewards. Oh, Philippox. I think he's maybe looking for a quick drop. Parker knowing him. Because Philippox, I think he's been a big playmaker. I love this. Doubling up with Herd. Herd gets the call that Philippox wants to go for the hatch drop. Whenever this comes in, he's going to jump in the copy window, and they're going to try and pinch hates. I like this a lot.
Here it comes. Maybe. Herds dies to Gomez.
Do mine.
Keyed Stars 4 kills away from putting this map in the bin, so to speak. Philippox attempting to find Hates' position. You can see him, but he can't get the job done. Maybe 92 not too far away from a couple of these players from Vivo Keyed Stars, but you have to get to that point first, and the clock is not your friend if you are W7M. Only 30 seconds remaining. These Vivo Keyed Stars players are sitting very comfortably at this point in time. Smoke will go off. There goes some of the vision for Daffodil, but if there's anybody who could make this work, it's Hornatow. Missing the one rare opportunity. Gomez dies, as does Hates. Hornatow still in this position. He wins the fight against the gridlock, but slaughtered over by Elevator. Daffodil will need to clutch. He's done it before, and he runs right by Nade. Looks the wrong direction. W7M send us to overtime.
Oh, that is just, that's so rough. He does everything right. He pushes in. He clears the man holding for the planter, and then all he had to do was kill the planters right beside him. He just didn't know. Oh, that is not a happy pill to swallow if you're Keyed Stars. I don't know how W7M have won that. They really should not be winning from that position. 4v5, 20 seconds to go. Players still on main stairs, bottom main stairs especially. That is down to your Warden player. Warden has one what they do, Parker? They watch the site. So somebody has not done their job for that. It shouldn't go down like that. But W7M, they'll take anything they can. They'll play ugly siege if they need to. And they've done just that. 6-6 overtime. Here we go. W7M on the attack. Is this better for them? Is this worse for them? That's always a good debate. Especially on even halves. What would you prefer?
I mean, that's a terrific question, right? As for me, I honestly, I would probably want defense just because I think the attacking side is more challenging and I would trust my defense better. If I'm W7M, I don't think they really care either way. Once again, goes through, I don't think the maps matter here, and I don't think the sides matter. Overtime is its own beast. I know that's a non-answer for a lot of people, but
No, but it's true. Yeah, it is. It just goes into a shootout of the next 3 rounds. You know, everything prior to that does not matter. All sites are reset, so that's another thing that maybe sometimes teams favor defense because everything's open to you again. And I think for basement being open, this is probably your best shot at having a solid defense, just because the utility that can be dumped into that basement. We've seen it before. You know, the havoc that Goyo canisters and smoke canisters can cause alike. And also even an echo comes into play. That's going to be another form of burn that you essentially need to run down the clock for. So, yeah, they've got everything that they need to stall out W7M. So we know exactly what Keystars are going to do, Parker. Just a case of W7M working against the clock and just moving as fast as they can to get things in place.
And as long as you can maintain a good pace on W7M and not sacrifice your first player to this Keystars defense, I think you're going to be okay. W7M on most of their attacks got that hates pick very first, but so many times we said it didn't really matter. Here, Hates is going to be playing a safer role on the Echo. If they can pick off the Echo first, they're in excellent position. But nothing. Just under half the round to go. First floor cleared out. Looks like these players from Vivo Keystars nestled very safely down below.
You're
on
rewarded.
attack pressure from multiple angles, almost drags somebody down with him, but ultimately doesn't end up hitting a single shot. Down he goes, flushed out of blue. Lenda far enough back, not rocking any optic more than a 1. As there goes a Goyo canister. That prevents entry to the main bomb site. Nate holds on to the diffuser. Felipox tries to keep a drone safe for more information. All the drones that are being shoved into this bomb site, shot away at by Vivo Keystars. Still, there's plenty of information for W7M. 6 drones remain. Well, they have the time to pull it off and use them. No, I imagine any information that's there, you're just going to have to go for and fight on your own. They know there's a player over by garage. 2 drones actually go in as there's a smoke underneath the hatch. Fire will rain in. Lenda flashed inside a garage, waiting for somebody over by stairs. Felipox trudging on through. There goes Daffodil. Diffuser by Nade as the Yokai attempts to get into position. They don't seem to see it. There's information being gained as Felipox is outdueled. Diffuser goes down. Gomez firing away. He loses the fight. 8's from the back, but Nade picks up 2, and W7M goes on to match point.
Ooh, incredible plant position from Nade. Just threw the Echo off entirely. Echo was thinking, oh, we saw it in default. Maybe he's in the smoke. No, they've planted in such a risky position right on the CC door. It is, yeah, it's just the way W7M. They play with fire sometimes, literally, because he's capped now. But yeah, risky plant position. It's paid off for them in the long run. You know, these little one-time things, that's enough to get you over the finish line, get you that round that you so desperately need. But overall for W7M, it's just that synergy. Whenever they drop, whenever they collapse, Parker, sometimes they make Siege look so easy. The hype that was built around this side during Invitational and into the Major, everyone just said that they played the best Siege around. It was just, it's so easy on the eye. You know exactly what they're trying to go for, and they do it so well. I just think the style of Siege is, it's right up my street. It's the type of Siege I love doing.
There's a lot that we can learn from players at this level, but more than anything, I mean, you're getting a masterclass from a team that, even though they lost Volps, people thought that losing Volps would be a...
They thought it was the end of that team, and
there
even
were a lot of
Julio
people saying,
prior.
like, that's it, W7M's going to split up, the team is not going to be able to stick together, the team's not going to do well, and then you get this iteration where both Nade and Felipox are proving to be excellent, excellent additions.
Like the pickups. I think Felipox was someone who was very underrated. You think of the MIBR side that we've seen throughout the years. They finished, what, 3rd place or 4th place back-to-back invites. That is something that you have to respect. And Nade, who was just a player from Black Dragons, you know, he was, you know, middle of the pack kind of team in Brazil for a long time, but him as a support has been such a standout, especially for this stage. I'm pretty sure he's their highest rated player on the support category. Kind of takes me back to the FaZe Clan days, where Souls was like a standout player for FaZe, and he was the support. So yeah, a lot to love about this side. But I've been impressed with Keystars today also, Parker. I think you have to give them their credit. They've really pushed W7M to their limits, and W7M, a couple of fortunate moments for them, but I think to win a match of Siege, Parker, you need to have a bit of luck involved. You have to.
I think there's a couple things that really play into it, right? And take a look at the way that Vivo Keystars has played this map. It's comfortable turf for them. But does that keep up on Cafe? We will need Cafe, no matter what. That is very familiar turf for W7M. Chalet is as well. It's an incredibly good map for W7M. So if you fail to win this, the road to making it out in the positive manner for Vivo Keedstars, that road becomes significantly harder to walk. W7M can work with the clock. All they need to do is ensure that Vivo Keedstars don't pick off all of them or get that diffuser down with 1:20 left. A scary moment with Hornetown now on rappel. W7M almost had to wait out the final moments of this round. One member down.
You have to be keeping an eye on Lander. Has the diffuser in his pocket. He's going to try and get himself in through those windows and look towards that plant. But ideally for Keedstars, they're going to struggle with the same thing they did last time they attacked here, and it is, what's their main pushing power? What is their main element that they're going to try and really dive into W7M? It looked to be a drop from the skyline, assisted with players pushing in through square, and they're going to try and fight their way through it. Hates eliminates Fleapox, an important pick. Removes the player inside a janitor of the windows, could be an option for them. Herds battles back onto Hornetown. Hates has also been down in the process. Daffodil knows where they are! A quick two-piece at that. Keeps his team alive, keeps him in the game. All the way, Parker. Round 15 coming up.
And that's exactly where Daffodil was by the conference door when he did the same thing, but on defense. So you ask me the question, would you rather be on attack or defense for overtime? Who do you think this benefits? Well, 2 rounds in a row for the attackers. I think we know the answer. 15th and final round. Man, Daffodil really stepping up for his team. It's a name that honestly has not really been in our mouths all that much the entirety of this stage. There's bigger players on Vivo Keedstars whose time in the sun has been especially bright and especially long. So to have somebody like Daffodil in very clutch moments, playing the way that Daffodil is tremendous. I also like the site rotations that we have. Instead of seeing the same bomb site for all 3 rounds, no. We will end on open area. Again, irrespective of what happens here. I know it's their map. Vivo Keedstars have put on quite the showing against W7M.
Defense for Keedstars. As it stands, attack has been better. Parker with the last 2 attacks, of course, being 1. So is this maybe the undoing? It's the fact that they have the defense side. Oh, is this what we want to see? A spawn peek in overtime? Or Natao, be careful. Didn't even hit KZ at all. KZ walks away thinking, somebody shooting at me? Was that for me? Wasn't too sure.
Buys time. It appears with the way that the spectators are jumping around. When we cast NA and EU, and I think OS is the same, OCE, usually the spectator follows what we're saying, but because we are the English rebroadcast, they tend to follow what the Portuguese casters, or what the Brazilian casters are saying in Portuguese.
Correct.
The fact that they keep going back to Daffodil really does tell a story in and of itself. I imagine the casters are probably highlighting how good Daffodil has been so far.
Yes. Oh, Herds. There you go. Doki call. That goes out. Is there a drop? Is he in? There he goes. And he's straight back out. Daffodil, the player that we've talked about, has found an important pick. Stops W7M for the meantime. Hates just about gets out of there and straight down into the basement. But that little bit of pressure from W7M is enough to scare away Keedstars into that middle floor. So top floor control goes in favor of W7M.
Yeah, I don't really like losing Herds, to be completely frank, especially when it comes to the side of soft destruction, but you've got backups for W7M, so not imperative that he stays alive, but an uncharacteristically poor match from Herds so far, almost as if he heard us mention conversation about him being the best player, one of the best players in the world.
He doesn't want it. He's too humble.
Honestly, can't say that I've really ever spoken to him much in person, so I don't know if that's true of him. Either way, job for W7M with 1 minute left. You have to isolate these players that are inside the bomb site. What utility do you have at your disposal? You got the sledgehammer from above. You still got hard destruction on both the Ace and the Hibana. Vivo Keed can answer back, though. Gomez, one more smoke remaining, as there goes that first smoke canister tossed out from him. The gas will continue on. Nade primed and ready from KZ. Whose name is it on below? Seemingly some difficulties choosing where this one will be. Will Daffodil blow sky high? Yes!
Oh.
2 kills from W7M, but they need to manage the clock properly. Last 2 remaining players from Vivo Keedstars, neither are on site right now, so they've completely surrendered it. They have to retake, but Hates gets spotted. Lenda's position given away as the castle now alone. The only option for Vivo Keedstars is this castle to drop and stop the diffuser plant, but JV92 says no thank you. First map, hard fought, but goes in favor of W7M.
Extremely well played, W7M. Open area take, pretty standard, pretty basic, but it gets the job done for them. They dig in deep. They didn't start off too well. Mid-game was ecstatic from W7M, but then Keedstars on the return pulled it back. But eventually W7M grind out that first